Okay, so let's talk about two of the biggest flying machines ever dreamed up. They were built 80 years apart by two of the most audacious and, you could say, controversial visionaries in history.
On one side, you've got the Hughes H-4 Hercules. It's this absolute behemoth made of wood that flew for a grand total of 26 seconds. It became this legend, a glorious failure. And then you've got SpaceX's Starship, the most powerful rocket ever built, with this almost unbelievable goal of colonizing another planet.
Now, at first glance, they seem like they're from different universes, right? One's wood, the other's steel. But what if I told you the stories of Howard Hughes' Spruce Goose and Elon Musk's Starship are, well, they're shockingly similar. They actually reveal this powerful pattern about innovation, obsession, and the really high price of having a singular, unwavering vision.
Let's start with the machines themselves, because their core design ideas actually share some surprising DNA. Both of them are basically monuments to this stubborn, almost counterintuitive way of engineering.
So what's really fascinating here is how both of these guys just completely rejected the standard materials of their time. During World War II, everybody was moving to aluminum for planes. But Hughes, because of wartime restrictions, gets obsessed with perfecting this plywood and resin composite. Now fast forward 80 years, and Elon Musk pivots Starship away from modern carbon fiber back to stainless steel. It was a choice that a lot of people in the aerospace industry just thought was, well, kind of backward.
And both projects totally embrace this philosophy of just brute force. Hughes' solution for lifting a plane the size of a city block: just keep slapping the biggest engines ever made onto it. In the same way, Starship fights gravity with a truly staggering number of Raptor engines all firing at once. But, and this is a big but, this creates what engineers call a complexity tax. Think about it. Every extra engine is another thing that can go catastrophically wrong, a risk we've definitely seen play out in some of Starship's early tests.
But really, to get the machines, you have to get the men behind them. Both Howard Hughes and Elon Musk are perfect examples of what you might call the solo architect, that visionary who grabs all the control and trusts their own gut over the wisdom of an entire industry.
So picture this, it's 1947, and Hughes gets dragged before a Senate committee to explain where $23 million of public money went on a plane that had never even flown. And his response? It wasn't some technical engineering defense. No, it was this deeply personal, high-stakes declaration. You can see, for Hughes, this wasn't just a government contract. It was him. It was an extension of his own identity.
And this obsessive hands-on style, it's a total hallmark. Hughes micromanaged every single detail, and even insisted on being the one to pilot the H-4 on its one and only flight. Musk is famous for sleeping on the factory floor, for getting deep in the weeds on the most tiny engineering decisions. Both men just famously don't trust committees, or so-called experts, because they believe their singular vision can muscle through any problem.
And this brings us to the really crucial question. What happens when a brilliant visionary gets totally locked into the wrong solution? Because the story of the Spruce Goose is a huge cautionary tale for any massive, world-changing project. And that includes Starship.
Hughes fell into a classic psychological trap. He got anchored to his original big idea, a giant wooden flying boat, and he just kept pouring millions and millions into perfecting it. He couldn't pivot. He couldn't change course, even when the whole world, technologically and politically, was changing right under his feet.
This timeline just lays it all out perfectly. While Hughes is laser-focused on building the ultimate piston engine flying boat, two massive paradigm shifts happen. First, boom, the jet engine arrives, which basically makes Hughes' piston planes a technological dead end overnight. And second, the war ends, and suddenly there's this global network of long, concrete runways which completely eliminates the whole reason to have a giant flying boat in the first place. His creation was basically obsolete before it even got off the ground, or, the water.
So that brings us right back to today. And it makes you wonder. Starship is without a doubt the absolute pinnacle of the chemical rocket. It's an incredible piece of engineering. But is it possible that it's just like the Spruce Goose? Is it the ultimate final expression of a technology that's already getting close to its fundamental limits?
A lot of scientists will argue that for us to truly become an interplanetary species, we need a massive leap in propulsion, something way beyond chemical rockets. So here's the uncomfortable question. Is perfecting the biggest chemical rocket in history the crucial next step we need to take? Or is it a visionary's blind spot? Is it a brilliant, massive effort to perfect yesterday's solution while the real future of space travel is waiting somewhere else?
So how is history going to judge these monumental gambles? Are they going to be remembered as these incredible, groundbreaking achievements, or
as magnificent, incredibly expensive follies.
After all that work, all that money, the Spruce Goose flew for 20 seconds. It never got more than 70 feet in the air, barely even leaving the cushion of air just above the water. That's a thing called ground effect. So it proved it could fly, which was a technical win for Hughes, I guess, but it never fulfilled its real purpose. It just became a museum piece, a monument to a dream that never really took off.
Now for Starship, you could argue the stakes are way, way higher. This isn't just one man's reputation on the line. It's the cornerstone of NASA's entire plan to get astronauts back to the moon. It carries the collective dream of putting a city on Mars. And its whole plan for deep space relies on orbital refueling, this incredibly complex maneuver that's never been done on this scale and will require multiple perfect launches for just a single mission.
So we're left with this. Is Starship the 21st century Spruce Goose, a magnificent brute force marvel that is the absolute peak of a technology that's on its way out? Or is it the machine that finally breaks the cycle? The one where a solo architect's singular, obsessive vision actually succeeds and turns science fiction into reality. The difference between a museum piece and a new world really does hang in the balance.